Forget marriage counseling. Apparently all you need is 10 minutes and a morning habit to avoid sleeping on the couch forever. Yeah, apparently it's a true story, guys. We're getting after it right now. Mornings Alive with Keith and Friends with Sweaty Guy starts right now. Jimmy, let's get after it, brother. Welcome to Mornings in the Lab, where
when something negative comes up.
Building muscle improves blood flow.
From squirting to squirrely.
Start small, build up, and expand from there.
Be entertained by fun over here.
How have I slept? Has my sleep been good? That's
Jimmy, you got the wrong opener up there, brother. Yeah, I saw that picture up there, Jimmy. Welcome back. Hey, guys, producer Jimmy is asleep at the wheel. Yeah, true story. No, Chelsea Burns isn't here today. No, I'm Keith Billis. I'm the host of Mornings Alive with Keith and Friends. We got Johnny out in Nevada on the phone joining us this morning. What's going on, everybody? Sweaty Guy here today. I crushed it. Got up this morning. Hey, I beat the snooze. Oh, we got a snooze discussion coming up on the show here today. Beat the snooze alarm. Got up, got my lift in this morning. Then I noticed there was a live Peloton ride with my brother, Matt Wilpers. Don't know the guy, but I enjoy riding with him on the Peloton platform. So I jumped onto that at 7 o'clock Eastern time. It finished 50 minutes before the show. So heart rate's elevated. Everything's all elevated. And I'm just sweating like a mofo here this morning. Guys, let's get after it. This is Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Good morning, good time. Good morning, Roofy. Good morning, Lady Drew. We got Johnny on the phone hanging out. I think he might be on the shitter right now. Jimmy. Guys, Jimmy's all killing himself because he uploaded the wrong opener. I agree. I think we're all just going to beat on Jimmy for good time. What do you think we should say to Jimmy today? The guy messed up. I don't know. I don't think I can get through the show today because producer Jimmy messed the whole thing up. But listen. Today, we're going to dive deep into groundbreaking conversations. First up, we're going to tackle the bizarre standards men apparently are still expected to live up to. Get ready to roll your eyes at some of society's absurd rules. Yes, absurd rules. With today's Mornings Loop, later on, legendary ad man Chuck McBride swings by to share some insights on optimism. Good morning, Holroyd. I see you there. Jimmy, you got Adam, and you got good time to your defense. Yes, I know. We love Jimmy. The show doesn't work without Jimmy. Actually, I got to tell you guys, I was a little stressed this morning. I was going through my ride and I got a text from Jimmy. He's like, Uncle Keith. He just calls me uncle all the time. I'm like, yes, son. I say to him, yes, son. I'm kidding. I'm like, yes, Jimmy. He's like, I don't have any internet. I'm like, oh, no. So I'm frantically thinking how I'm going to sort that out. But he's on the show today. We're rocking and rolling. And hey, have you ever wondered why a staggering 63% of young men today are single? I haven't, so we're not going to talk about it. All kidding aside, apparently 63% of young men today are single. We've got some thought-provoking theories ready to ignite mental edges. Remember, guys, subscribe, like, comment on the channel. Keep us fueled. This is an R-rated experience. How do I know? Because I got my brother from another mother hanging on the call here. I just unmuted him, so if we hear some burping and farting, we know John Anderson's on the call here. This is your daily accountability partner helping you guys start your day right with good laughter, good fun. It's a throwback show to the olden days of waking up with morning shock jock fun radio. We call it Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends, and this is the Morning Loop, the first 13 minutes of the show, which is quite unpredictable and quite ridiculous. Speaking of unpredictable and ridiculous, Jimmy, I think I'm going to bring in the young man himself. What's shaking, Johnny Anderson?
What's up, my brother? How you doing this morning?
I'm awesome.
Why am I? What did you call me? What did you tag me on the wild one or whatever? Why am I gotta be that guy?
I don't even know. I don't even know what the hell I just said for the last 7 minutes. Actually, Sometimes this is how it works. How's your day going, pal? What's going on in the lovely state of Nevada today? While I wipe my ass, while I wipe my brow with sweat. Dude, I am drenched in sweat right now. I had a great workout this morning. How's Nevada treating you yesterday?
It was good. We had an amazing day. It was a long day, a good day.
Yeah.
Holy smokes! I woke up this morning. Excuse me. I was so dehydrated just because we were on the go, and I was doing my best to stay on top of my water, but I was just sometimes those busy days is tough, and I'm probably 3/4 of a gallon down, and I actually slept until 4:30. Excuse me, I slept until 3:30 today rather than 2:59.
No kidding.
I woke up. Oh yeah, today is a no activity day. No activity at all.
Yeah.
My body is wrecked, brother. I trained with last 2 days. I've been doing training collaborations with buddies, and they're both still active world champion powerlifters.
That's awesome, man. That's a lot of fun. And what do you got going on today? You got some work today before you head back to California today?
Yeah, got another big podcast, which is going to be a fun one. Had
Nice.
a great one yesterday with Sean Kelly, which was good. I think right now he's number one on Apple.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of Apple, Johnny, you didn't even know I was going to go here, but I got a segue for us, brother. Speaking of Apple, Nation, have you ever blamed Apple for why you keep hitting snooze? Well, some of you may, some of you not. Mornings I got something for you guys, Nation, which is iOS 26, which was announced this week by Apple, just declared war, Johnny, on the 9-minute snooze button. Get this. We're going to roast everyone who's ever slept through a morning meeting. And this is Mornings in the Lab, the live morning show. And today, we're going to break down how Apple's alarm update is finally catching up to our no snooze start your day. Guess what, guys? Apple has added the ability in iOS 26, which is coming out here over the next few weeks, to change your snooze button. So the update hits at the core of daily morning motivation, men's conversation, and self-discipline. If you're chasing audacious goals, this matters. If you want a real daily accountability partner, it absolutely matters anymore. But here's the thing. For decades, Apple and every mechanical alarm clock forced us to this 9-minute weird snooze cycle, which you and I have absolutely leaned into. Well, thanks to the new update, Johnny, iOS 26 finally sets us free. So now we are going to not, Jimmy, here's the cut, not give our audience permission to choose between 1 to 15 minutes, Johnny, of snoozing.
They're making it longer.
Yes. So now you can actually
for
fucking.
For the love of Christ.
I know.
In my mind, I was thinking, okay, we're going to make this a 3-minuter. That's where my mind went straight out of the gate.
Well,
I'm like, this is, and I was like, this is perfect. I was like, well, maybe they're going to make it to where you can't even, it's going to try to go at 30 seconds. So every 30 seconds it's going to hammer on you. I'm thinking Apple is helping our cause, not fucking going against us. Jesus Christ.
Dude,
this is terrible.
I read through it and I saw the update and I was like, really? Really? So now people can choose 1 minute, 15 minutes. So John, here's the thing, brother, is now we can now realign our marketing content. We now have a few more years of content and conversation to roast every motherfucker out there who decides who decides to snooze for 15 minutes. So, dude,
no, hold on. It's not even 15 minutes because the poor fucker that says, "Okay, I'm gonna set my alarm to snooze at 15 minutes." Now with the fucking 2 minutes it took him to do that, he's wasted 17 minutes of his life.
This is true. So the new alarm experience, the alarm screen's bigger and bolder. The snooze and stop buttons, they're massive. This morning motivation you can't ignore. Guys, so here's the thing. This is where things get spicy for tech and men's health. Alarm Kit, which something else Apple has released, means those crazy alarm apps that force you to do push-ups or solve math problems to shut it off, now they're actually going to work. So they've released some things, but the reality is Apple has given us the ability to change the snooze button. Guys, I'm not going to lean too far into this. Just stop. Just get up, get after it. And if you can keep helping us get out of bed earlier. And yeah, good time. You're right. Apple must have tuned in and said, hey, they heard us talking about the 9-minute thing. So they're giving people the chance to snooze for 15 minutes along the way. I don't even know what to say to that. It's just, you know what it is, Johnny? It's encouraging laziness.
I think if Apple listened in, they would have gone the other way.
Yeah, well, let's hope, actually. Let's absolutely hope.
Jesus Christ. It's like our standards as human beings is just getting less and less. Our standards of ourselves.
Oh, I'm 100%. Yeah, well, it's society caters to the lowest common denominator. Let's face it, man. It absolutely does. It always has, and I suspect it always is going to, right? So I'll tell you something, man. Hey, I got to tell you something pretty cool here as a father, and those of you guys tuning in as a father. We're talking today the 10-minute morning habit that's saving marriage. We'll get to that at the bottom of the hour. We're supposed to have Chuck McBride. But Johnny, I know you like to look with I do, and I don't see the horse in the stable. So I'm not sure, Jimmy, if we have McBride showing up today. We're gonna have some laughter with that. I'm thinking he's not showing up. I don't see him in the stable right now, so we'll have some fun with that. But I totally forgot what I was going to say. Actually, completely forgot what I was going to say. But what I am going to say is, so. There's something that's kind of crazy, man. Something pretty bizarre around manhood these days. And guys, ears up on this one. Using an umbrella. Oh, I know what I was going to say, Johnny. So today, I'm finishing my workout, and the young man walks downstairs into the gym. That'd be Carter. And yesterday, my friend, he finished his last exam of his last day of high school, and today is the first day of the rest of his life.
Crazy.
It is crazy. It is crazy. You as a father who's had daughters graduate, what do you reflect on when you hear that?
Well, when they all went through that, it was like, because I've really always trained their brains to continue to go forward.
Yeah.
A lot of times you get people and they're like, oh my God, high school, I loved it so much. I'm gonna miss it. Like, listen, you fucking bitched about high school for 3 fucking years, three and 3/4 years. You enjoyed the last 2 months, and now you're going to have a big fucking pity party about it. Jesus Christ. So it's the idea of it's the idea of training their minds into forward thinking.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited about him actually. So and then yesterday was funny because he's like, okay, my exams are all done. Now I'm ready to hang out with you. I'm like, oh right. Because as I told you last month, he's jumping into us. So he's like, yeah, I'm ready to work 10, 12 hours a day. I'm like, holy fuck yeah, right on. So
it's exactly what we're talking about. He's a forward thinker. He's not looking back.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then this fall, he's making his way out to, in Canada here to another province. In the States, that would be another state, but he's heading off to another province in the fall to go and get himself to continue his hockey career, which we're quite excited about for him. But
no shit, tell me about that.
Yeah,
I haven't heard about that.
Yeah, he's gonna go play some junior hockey. He's gonna go continue pursuing his hockey career in Saskatchewan. Actually, it's Saskatchewan, Johnny. So he's heading over to Saskatchewan, where you spent some time in your wrestling career years back. He's heading over to
wrestling, strongman.
Oh yeah, strongman. Yeah. He's gonna head over to Saskatchewan to a small community just in rural Saskatchewan there, and he's gonna play on the junior team. There's a spot for him there. So, and listen, there's no illusions. There's no illusions he's gonna go play pro anywhere. However, you never know.
Well, hold on, real quick. The idea that is still a door is open. That's all that needs to be said.
Well, no, exactly. No, but what I mean by that is I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. It's managing expectations with language. And what I'm saying is that the goal isn't that, okay, that's the ultimate goal to go play pro. No, the goal is to go take first step, second step, third step, and see what happens. Yeah. Just like you said to me last week, you're like, when we were talking about the business, you're like, hey man, you know what? My philosophy in life is put your head down and go to work. Put your head up. Oh, anything changed? No, go back, go to work. And it's the same kind of thing, right? So, Billis is on his way to Saskatchewan in the fall to, and a brand new thing, because in the past, he's always been focused on knowing he's going back to school. So brand new chapter in his life opening up. And I know he's pretty jacked about.
So let me ask a question. So basically, what is he? Because he's working for us now. So he gets paid from us, which is his income. Yep. He goes and gets an apartment close to where the headquarters of where practices is. And that's kind of what he's doing. Yeah, he's actually going to be billeting, Johnny. He's going to be living with a billet family. So he'll be living with a billet family in Saskatchewan, who's going to put him up in the house there and feed him and take care of him. Perfect. So he's out. So even better. Okay, goodness. Yeah, is great. It is great. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a good adventure for him, right? And listen, it's an 8-hour drive from home. So old Uncle Keith, your dad's going to be spending some time figuring shit out with you boys this fall and this winter. Might be doing some stuff from rural Saskatchewan when we're doing the show here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. And looks like we have the young man from Maryland on the screen here this morning. What's up, Christopher Martin?
What's going on, Keith? How you doing, man? I'm good, man. How you doing, Keith?
I'm fantastic. I'm a little sweaty and hot and just kind of dealing with
Hold on. I don't get a greeting this morning.
Well, Keith, you didn't let me get there, Johnny. I was going to say, how you doing, Johnny, after Keith finished. I was going to say something to you, man. Come on, Johnny.
Well, he wasn't going to. Okay, it's good. It's great. Thank you, brother. Because I was like, if you're waiting for him to stop talking so you can greet me,
We got some fun. So I'm glad Marty's here, man. We got some fun things to talk about with Marty in a few minutes. I don't see Chuck McBride showing up. So, guys, here's what we're going to do. We're going to kick into the accountability check-in. We're going to come back and have some conversations. The masculinity police. Oh, my God. The Karens, the Johns, the Joes of the world are out there talking about redefining masculinity. We're going to have some fun with Marty. And, if Marty's here at the bottom of the hour here, we're going to get into some conversation around why people are, why Marty, guys aren't dating.
Did you use my name in that whole Karen spiel?
He did use Johnny.
He said Johnny.
He said Johnny. Yeah.
He said my name in that. Oh, Jesus.
He said Johnny.
I got to be honest. I'm a little bit rattled this morning because we're still figuring out I'm still figuring out my 1 hour, 2 hour setup here. So my brain is kind of split into two spots right now as I'm getting after it. But Jimmy, before we go to the accountability check and something, have you guys ever noticed how it's always the guys who move first who get the real advantage? Some things in business, same things in life. Well, you're here because you're wired for more. You want to set the pace and not follow it. That's what the Mornings in the Lab YouTube membership is all about. It's a signal. It's a commitment. And a couple folks stepped up right off the bat. We had Adam Holroyd. We had Lady Drew stepping right up. And, not setting the stand. You're on the field. You're shaping what comes next. Membership starts at $3, not to fund Marty's next vacation, not to fund Johnny's next big thing he's doing. It's actually to reinvest back into the business, to build member perks that give you early access, exclusive insights, and a shot to get up here on Free for All Fridays, which is what we're working towards tomorrow. What the hell does it mean? Not sure. We're going to figure it out. Winners, you guys don't wait for permissions. You guys step up. So guys, check it out, man. $3, $15, $20. The Mornings in the Lab YouTube community is live and getting after it and getting better every single day. Let's do the accountability check-in. Let's come back and get into some chitter chatter and get at her. Let's do it. All right. So Johnny, you don't know this, but I'm gonna mute you. Boom. There we go. Gonna mute Johnny. So Jimmy, the horse didn't show up today. Hey, I don't know what to tell you, Jimmy. But the horse just did the horse ghost us, Jim, or what? Like actually ghosted us, eh? Love that. Love being ghosted. There's someone you've been thinking about for weeks now. Not every minute, not every day, but they keep showing up in the quiet moments, during your workout, while the coffee brews, and every time you think I should check in, I'll text them tomorrow. Well, things are just get crazy right now. But then the day moves, work piles up, slips again. You tell yourself you're busy. And yeah, well, maybe you are, but then you think about it and you go, how many times did you check your phone today? How many group chats did you scroll through without really replying? How many TikToks, Instagram reels? I just stand in the kitchen waiting for the coffee to brew, doing absolutely nothing, just standing around. Because, I suspect we all do it. Those tiny pockets of time that disappear, but could have meant something different if you used them differently. Johnny and I talk about it all the time, the idea of habit stacking. Because sending a message, that's not a task. That's a presence, and presence is leadership. Because you never know who needs to hear it. You never know who's out there feeling forgotten, thinking nobody needs to see them. So here, I invite you to do this, you guys. Be the guy who shows up every day. And be the guy who shows up anyway. Not because you have time, but because you made the time. For the person that you're thinking about. And that person might even be yourself. So, as you go through your day today, ask yourself, is anybody noticing what you're doing? And if you're not, then you're doing the right thing. True story. There's a Mornings in the Lab accountability check-in this morning on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends, 8 o'clock Eastern time, right here on LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. All right, Jim, let's bring the guys back up here. I'm muting Johnny here. Let's have some chitter chatter and get at her. Guys, so I tease this. I tease the Karens of the world here, but apparently, Marty, using an umbrella in the rain, ordering a fruity drink, caring about skincare, these are just a few of the ridiculous ways that men report having their masculinity questioned. There's a viral thread happening across the internets right now that's exposing this absurd, arbitrary rule that police male behavior, and it's revealing just how exhausting it is to be a quote unquote be a man in today's world. Now, this isn't about laughing about silly social rules. It's these arbitrary standards that have real consequences. guys, let's have a little chat about this. This viral thread has exposed hundreds of examples that range from the ridiculous to the concerning. Men judged for using lip balm, carrying their wife's purse, enjoying certain TV shows, or even sitting with their legs crossed. Marty, when you hear this, what's your first response to this whole idea of people judging others because the man wants to carry his wife's purse?
It's usually rooted in insecurity.
Yes.
I get called, gay or not masculine pretty much every day on my Instagram and TikTok.
Really?
Whenever I post, just from telling people to get in shape, it happens often. Like I'm talking every day. It's insane. But like I mentioned before on this show a long time ago, it's just crazy to me how in the world where we accept gay people more than ever in history, they use it as an insult towards men. Right? It's just it doesn't make any sense to me.
It makes no sense at all.
It's sad. It's sad. It's truly sad, and it's just I don't know. People just aren't intelligent.
Yeah, Johnny, what do you think about this whole questioning masculinity because you're carrying a purse or you're carrying lip balm or get your nails done?
I got a simple solution that fixes the whole fucking thing.
Yeah,
but I'll say before I let everybody know how easy this is to fix,
just fucking ignore him.
I carry Terry's purse all the fucking time. She's got her hands full. Give me that. So sometimes I'll even put it in the crook of my arm like I'm carrying it like she does.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? But the simple deal here is, who gives a shit? As soon as you stop worrying about what people say, you become free.
Yes.
For sure.
I mean, how many times I needed somebody just yesterday before I went on a podcast, and my lips were getting dry. So she whipped out some of her shit that's got a little fucking glitter on it. Guess what? I put it on.
Yeah. I enjoy doing the crazy shit like that. And what I mean by that is that, when Piper was little, painting my nails or carrying Lauren's purse or just doing stuff that is not supposed to be, quote unquote, masculine or manly. I just struggle with that definition because it doesn't make any actual sense to me, like at all, like zero sense to me.
Well, and we can distill it even a little further. We can make it even more simple. How about just fucking do what works for you in the moment and not worry about anything else?
Yes, yeah. And I bring this up because I'm going to suspect, guys, I'm bringing this up because I know that there's guys that tune into the show. I've talked to guys after the show that perhaps don't subscribe to the same thoughts that we have, where there still is this concern about how somebody's judging them or recognizing who they are or who they aren't. It actually makes no sense to me. And Lady Drew, I appreciate Lady Drew coming in and saying everybody needs to stop being concerned about what others think. That is on them, not you. And Lady Drew is right. And Lady Drew is saying exactly what Johnny's thinking, right? Which is when people are judging you, then that's their own problem, actually not your problem.
Yeah.
Right. That's the whole point of it.
Did you include using an umbrella as not manly?
Yeah, well,
Is that one of the things?
That was one of the comments here that I pulled this article is that men are being accused of being feminine because they're using an umbrella. Fuck, man, I don't want to get wet. I want to be dry, Marty, when I'm coming to your meeting. It's called just being logical and using what's appropriate in the situation, which is
I bet you these shit talkers are really, really heavy users of the snooze button as well.
Oh, it's always somebody you don't want to be like. So that makes me.
Yes.
It's not going to stop me because I don't want to be like you. You're not someone I admire.
Yes. Hey, so I found something funny too, guys, which is apparently there is a socially acceptable. We're going to get to the fit tip here in a couple minutes, Jimmy. Apparently there's a socially acceptable body count. And going too far another direction might get you judged. And a new study, Marty and Johnny, finds there's a sweet spot when it comes to how much sex is just enough. Now, the study published in the Social Psychology and Personality Science set out to define what society sees as the ideal level of sexual activity for men and women. And the results, people with moderate sex lives are judged more positively, while others, either extreme, super active, or completely inactive, tend to face social penalties. Now, boys, the study, which surveyed over 340 participants from two separate samples in Germany, the sex country, just fucking sex everywhere all over Germany, asked people how society would view a 25-year-old man with women with varying levels of sexual activity. The questions covered everything from sex partners, frequency of intercourse, etc., etc. Now, here is the question. What do you think was the ideal body count for men for their partner? First to you, Marty.
For 25?
Yeah, so you're a man and you're dating a woman.
Yeah.
What do you think the ideal body count is that men would
just any, I got you.
Yeah.
Oh, for that, I got you. I misunderstood. Most guys would want their girl to have about 10 or less.
Okay. Interesting.
If they're being realistic.
Yeah,
Johnny,
if they're being realistic. What's your thought?
I still, and when I was younger, gave two shits about something like this. So, God, this is a full-blown fucking guess. I don't know. I mean, this is just one of those things, like, I've never even fucking had thoughts about this kind of things. This is like the first time this shit's ever entering my brain.
Well, this is good then. This is raw then, because this is good. So let me help you with this, Johnny.
Yeah.
Let me help you with this. For men, the magic numbers were about 4 to 5, 4/5 lifetime sex partners, with 2 to 3 being casual. And for women, the ideal was lower, 2 to 3.
Yeah, people are just aren't realistic.
You're
not like, come on, bro. Come on, man.
But go to the other side. You know, when I find my sturdy girl, right?
Which we learned yesterday.
I don't want her to not have a clue what's going on.
Well, it's true. 100%. It's true. No, you don't want a girl that doesn't have a clue what's going on.
Yeah, but you also don't want to go somewhere and everybody's looking at you like, damn, we had fun with her.
But I could give two shits about that either.
Well, I'm not that I care about those guys, but it just, you want to make sure you are with a quality woman and somebody who won't put you in a situation where someone can look at you like that. Because I've had women bring me around guys that they quote unquote didn't sleep with or do anything with, and I'm in there looking dumb.
Yes.
So you can say that, Johnny. I don't know if you've been in that situation, but until you've been in that situation and people looking at you like that, it's a little weird. I'm still a human at the end of the day,
No, but I'm going a little further, brother. I don't give a shit what those guys say.
I respect it
because those guys are not like me. You don't have the fucking
absolutely not.
I know you motherfuckers are so insecure. You think that that's a bad thing because you don't have the confidence to fucking. I want a female to be sexually liberated, and that doesn't come through fucking sitting in the fucking basement. And if dudes are too fucking insecure to deal with the fact, then that's on you, bro. Not you, Mark.
Yeah. Well,
that's on you.
I think we're looking at it from two different angles. I'm more so looking at it like I wouldn't want somebody to put me in that situation. Like, I'm not going to bring my girl around. I'm not going to take her to a party and there's women there that I messed with. I'm just not doing that. But you know what I'm saying?
Flip side. That goes the flip side too. It's like, listen, you understand that I wasn't a fucking virgin when we got together, right? Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna fucking stumble across people that have fucking, I
stumble.
Right? Like Zorro. Just
yes.
Okay. But there's been plenty of but Terry and myself, let's get real.
Let me add one thing in real quick, Johnny. One thing real quick.
Yeah,
you said stumble. I didn't say. Of course, we're going to stumble into people. I can't control that. I'm saying you intentionally took me here, and the situation. You see what I'm saying?
Let me get specific. You know how many times Terry or I's going both ways? Been at get-togethers. There's been numerous people that we both fucking had sex with or relationships with, and I'll fucking shoot the shit with one of them. I don't give a damn.
I understand.
This does not register on my. This is like so far from something I would worry about.
This is great fucking morning. This is great conversation, guys. Do not.
Keith, what you think, Keith? What you think, Keith?
I'm gonna chime in a second. I love you guys going after. I want to read the comments. And I'm gonna come with you. So good times. I'm with you, Marty. And Nanny Manny Boo Boo comes in with, this is interesting, actually. Nanny, what's going on? You're joining Mornings Live with Keith and friends. Got Marty and Johnny, myself here. I'm more worried if she has slept with my current friends than her body count.
Oh yeah, I would be too.
But now, see, of course, now that's different. If we're in a relationship and we've got this is us, and we realize that we're not going outside of us, then that's. But before us, that was your life before me, and I have no problem with what you did before me, because what I care about right now is your loyalty, your trust, your companionship, all the things that come along with us once we started, and. I mean, I'm thinking of so many situations where I've actually like hung out with fucking, dudes that Terry's, just had fun with. I will. So so Adam Holroyd says, "What's wrong? She's upgraded." I will talk with you guys about my own insecurities, because I went through a journey in life where I had to figure shit out in my own brain about this. True story. And I mean that sincerely, Johnny Marty, where I had to recognize, Johnny, that before I met somebody, I didn't know them and they didn't know me. So what I mean by that is that they actually didn't exist in the world when you think about it, right? Because but yet, how can I explain this? So let's use Lauren. I love her to pieces, right? And obviously she had a life before me. She was married before me. But yet, in the early days, I couldn't wrap my head around that, because it felt like in my head it was like, quote unquote, cheating, even though as I was going through talking with my therapist, it's like, yeah, but that person didn't exist before you. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yes, she did. He goes, no, but she didn't exist. Like, right. Because actually in my world, she didn't exist. So how can I judge or comment or have opinions? Because it's like you, Marty, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and Johnny, I didn't know who you guys did not exist. There was no John Anderson. So how can I have any feelings for decisions you've made 3 years ago when you didn't exist to me? Am I making sense? Right. So once I've gotten to know you, now I can have feelings and have emotions around our relationship, Keith and Johnny or Keith and Marty's. But before that, you didn't exist. I had to work on that. So to Marty's point, though, and to even Good Time's point, I would struggle if I was dating a girl and I walked into a room there and I know that she banged the 6 other guys there. I'm like, really? What the fuck, man?
I'm gonna say this too, and Johnny's gonna tear me apart after I say this. Yeah. So Johnny, get ready.
I love it.
We're also in a different generation with a different breed of women. So you gotta be cautious, man. I mean. Some of the shit I've seen women do, and I don't hate women or anything. I absolutely love women. I'm not talking bad because men suck now too. It's men do, but I date women, so I'm talking about women. Just get that clear.
Yes.
Some of this shit I've seen women do, I don't know if you guys have ever seen some of that shit. Maybe you have, but I don't know.
Oh, brother.
But I'm saying now with social media now and the access that they have to men, it's just. It's different than when y'all was coming up.
But Marty, it goes both ways though. Guys are just as bad.
No, absolutely. No, I'm not saying anything bad about women strictly. Yeah.
You think that stuff wasn't going on for social media? It's just because people become more aware it was going on.
I think it was going on, but I think it's 10 times worse now because you could DM 10 women at once. Like I can go out today and I don't know. I don't know.
No,
I'm not saying.
Brother, I'm with you. I'm with you. But you're still caught up in these acts, right? I'm talking about this is like a state of mind, right? You're still thinking of the things that are happening. Oh my God, she did this, she did that.
No, Johnny, I agree with you, Johnny. I do agree with you there. It is a state of mind. And I bring it up because I myself, through my journey in life, have had to deal with that state of mind. It's through my own insecurities, right?
Well, and another thing, too, is listen, if you, I can't even remember. You can bring with it speed with something about throwing stones in the fucking Bible. If I'm going to go do my fucking thing, I'm surely not going to judge you for doing yours.
Absolutely. Yeah, of course.
Yes. And it ends there. Conversation fucking over.
Yeah. Listen, Johnny, I'm going to tell you. No, but Johnny, but I've said this since I've met you, and I find myself, even yesterday, I was just kind of spending some time in my own head, in continuing to get to know you and learn from you, and have you as my friend, brother, and so forth, partner, and so forth. And same with you, Marty. The things you guys say stick with me. right? So I even this whole situation, like I continue to learn every single day what just there's nothing to care about over there. Right. And I love this. This is a great conversation. I love this because it's everyone has an opinion on it. Right. And then Nanny Boo Boo comes back with being in that situation seems to be more of a dishonesty situation than her number account. If you knew that, since you wouldn't have felt that way. And then Good Time, Marty, it's definitely different now. That's coming from Good Time. And then Good Time says you don't want to walk in a room with the town's cum dumps.
Yo, I'm gonna say this too. I know we got to move on, Keith, but yo, everybody's not like us, right? True. Like, so a lot of people don't improve and change. Like, I know Johnny was probably like a bodybuilding whore back in the day. Johnny's not that. He's not that anymore. You know, everybody doesn't evolve and change. So you got to raise an eyebrow. You know, that's how I look at it. So for me, I just make sure I deal with quality women. You know, I do a better vetting process.
Yes. And the last thing that comes down to is this. I'll be totally fucking frank. These perspectives I'm sharing, I didn't have these my whole fucking life. I wasn't born with these. These came with me fucking really understanding who the fuck I was and truly not giving a fuck what anybody else says. So I'm sorry, fellas, you still care what other people say. You've proven it in this conversation.
But that's what I'm
throwing that at both of you.
But that's why I love you. And that's why I love this conversation, because when you say that that's not how you've always been, me too. Like, and I think that's the whole point of this is that life has allowed me to learn how to react to these things, I've rarely cared as I reflect on my life. I've rarely cared what others think about me. As a matter of fact, I was thinking back because Carter's going through his graduation, and I was thinking back to my grad and what I wore and everything, and I'm like, I was actually the only person wearing something that nobody else was wearing. Like I just was very different, and I've never cared what anybody said ever. Right. But as I've been on the show with you guys and you, Johnny, and you, Marty, I've even cared less. And I think it's even as you get older. Right. So, but I love this conversation because everybody has an opinion on it. And apparently body count is one of those that people like to still have opinions on. So let's do this. This is a great chat, guys. Surely enjoying it. Johnny, I'm going to put you on mute. We're going to do the lifestyle tip with Marty. Marty, how long are you here for, pal?
I got about another 10, 15.
Cool.
I can stick it out.
So real quick, did you hear that, Mark? We're switching segments. You're doing the lifestyle tip, he said.
He does it all the time, Johnny. It's Keith, man.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, boys. I got some moving things behind the scenes you guys can't see. So I'm still sorting those things out. And sometimes the words just come out of the wrong side of my mouth. So
it's all good, man.
The fitness tip of my brother from another another brother. Fuck.
Yeah. Come on, man. Keith, what the hell today, man? Come on, man. All right. We got the fitness tip for today. You have to sacrifice something if you want to get fit. You got to sacrifice something if you want to get in shape. So that can be a number of things. It can be friends, family, time, comfort, your habits, but you got to give up something if you want to get results. A lot of people think that they could just hop right into fitness. Oh, I'm doing it now. 75 hard. Let's go. No. If you want to be long-term with this, if you're doing this for longevity, you have to sacrifice something. Now, and the people who are the most successful in fitness are the ones who make those sacrifices, right? They're going to give up the snacks. They're going to give up the alcohol. They're going to give up the sweets. They're going to give up whatever it is for this new life, right? And, you have to change your mindset towards these things to make the sacrifices. So this is me just being transparent. You don't have to think like this. I don't know your beliefs, and I don't mean no disrespect when I say this. But if it comes to alcohol and I don't want to drink, I tell myself in my head, oh, that's the devil's drink. That's the devil's beverage, right? I do the same thing with snacks, food, anything. Now, I enjoy myself at times. I have a drink from time to time. I have these snacks from time to time. But to have it regularly and understanding what that can do to my body, how that can harm my workouts, how that can harm my function, I don't want it. So I'm willing to make that sacrifice. When it comes to negative people who want to talk badly about my choice, oh, you want to go to the gym all the time, you think you're a personal trainer, I don't have time for that. So I don't hang with those people. I only surround myself around good energy because I know what I want my future to look like. So remember, you have to sacrifice something if you want to be fit. That's the fitness tip for today.
The tip of the day with Christopher Martin every day, 8:30 Eastern time with us on Mornings and Alive with Keith and friends. Coming back to finish off that conversation on body counts, Lady Drew comes in and says, if a gentleman is uncomfortable due to us seeing someone I have slept with in public or an event, that is their insecurity, not mine. I know John.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lady Drew. Thank you. And the number doesn't fucking matter. All you motherfuckers, all you insecure motherfuckers are tied up thinking about the acts.
When I'm
right?
when I'm with a gentleman, I'm with him and no one else, is how Lady Drew finishes the comment. Marty.
I was gonna say I don't think it's insecure. I think it's a respect thing. It's a disrespect thing to me. That's just me. You know, everyone's different.
That's
but I wouldn't do that. I'm not. That's just me.
Insecure voice is gonna camouflage this really well, brother, and it's doing a good job.
Nah, bro, I'm not gonna bring my girl around women that I don't know if you know women in this generation, but they're uncomfortable if they're around women that I've slept with.
You got to you talk.
I don't think that's insecure. I think that's a respect thing.
So you got to pick ones that have more self-esteem, that are more confident. You talked about the vetting process. You're vetting the wrong shit, brother.
So Good Time comes in with a great question, I think, for all of us right now. Good morning, Rufy. I see you there in the comments, brother. I missed you over here earlier, brother. Good to have you on the morning, my friend. So Good Time comes in with this one. So would you guys be okay dating that chick that had 1,000 men in one day? No.
Johnny would, not me.
but again, we're still looking at the wrong shit. This is not you don't judge this stuff in terms of do you want to be with somebody. You guys are still looking at the wrong stuff.
It's a fascinating point of view, actually. It's here's
the
thing. Hold on, Johnny. Here's the thing for me, Johnny. Johnny, hold on. So here's the thing for me.
Yeah.
So that the what's her name? Bonnie Blue. So Bonnie Blue, who sleeps with 1,000 men, I would say no right off the bat. Not because she slept with 1,000 men, but because of the character of her to even think about.
Well, that's it. Because but she set up a situation.
Yes.
To sleep with 1,000 men, uncover something about her. I'm vetting character.
Me
that
too.
Situation makes me okay. There's something wrong with the character.
Yes.
First.
Yes.
Let's just say that I've had plenty of fucking girlfriends that probably slept with over 100 fucking dudes.
Yes.
No issue with that.
Yes.
Now, granted, none of them worked out, but when it comes down to it, that's not what I'm looking at. You know, so if someone like, perfect example, when a dude is concerned, how many guys have you slept with?
I love when Johnny.
I would never ask that, by the way, too. I don't want you thinking I would ask something like that.
I'm not. Well, girl, you think that I'm pointing everything at you? I'm just.
Oh, okay. Okay. All
right. When you say something I disagree with, I'll point your shit back at you. But I'm talking.
All right. I love it.
This is awesome.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is this, and you hit on the head, Keith. You're judging character. That's what we're vetting. Yeah. We're not vetting the acts. The acts help us have a better look at the character. But
that's what I was saying.
Perfect example. I'm not going to air Terry's stuff out because it's her information, but she's a sexually liberated woman, and I'm fucking glad.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Well, and the last thing that I give a shit about is in her liberation process. How many fucking men? It's Jesus Christ. When it comes down to it, it just all comes back to this. If dudes were fucking secure with who they are and they didn't give a shit what anybody else thought, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
I think this is a great time to let's do this. Let's Johnny, because you're on video, we're not going to do a lifestyle tip with you, pal, but we got the young man, Mr. Zeglin, in the lounge here. I see he's getting ready. I think we need to continue this conversation with AJ. I think he'll bring a different point of view with this one. I love this. Is great because
can I add something in on that?
Yeah.
I'm with you on that, Johnny, and I don't know why a guy would ask that, because you're going to be mad at the answer regardless what it is.
Precisely. I don't exactly.
Well, you're going to be upset.
Yeah.
It just shows the root of their insecure thought process.
That's exactly. So right, you guys are correct in both those situations. Like, A, why ask? B, Marty's absolutely correct. There's no right response. Like for whether the girl asks the guy or the guy asks, there's no right response. So it's really more about, why don't you go look in the mirror before you ask that? Do you really want to ask that question, or do you want to go look in the mirror and ask yourself about your insecurities?
I'd never ask that question.
No, but you know what I mean? That's really what we're saying to somebody is, do you really want to know, or do you want to go look in the mirror and ask yourself about your insecurities?
Exactly.
Right? That's really what but what I'm curious about, because Johnny, you keep talking about the act. And we were talking yesterday, the day before, John, regarding, if a gay man has sex with another man, is he gay? And the
as long but we already established if your nuts don't touch, it's not.
yes. but we did establish from that doctor who talked about it was that he delineated the difference between the act and the attraction. Totally. Right. So, totally. and I think in some ways we're talking about the same way with this. If that woman over there slept with 1,000 men, well, that's just the act. There was no connection, no emotional connection. It was more just the act. Maybe it's full of meaningless behavior. Jimmy, is AJ ready to come?
Real quick. Let's just say she's fucking 85 years old and she slept with 1,000 men. Who fucking cares? Now, did you line up 1,000 men in a 24-hour period? Okay, that's a little different. The 85-year-old. Good for you, man. Have you fucking live your life.
AJ Zeglin joining us all the way this morning from Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. What's going on, Zeglin? We were having a big conversation this morning on the ideal body count. There was a study out of Germany between men and women, and we've been having a really animated discussion around, men asking women around, the ideal body count. Zeglin, what's your initial point of view on this?
I think before AJ speaks, I'm sorry to interrupt. I really believe that AJ is going to be more siding on the fence of what I'm talking about. And I'm not saying he's going to agree with me. He's going to have his own opinions, but I think it's going to be more in terms of the person, not the acts.
What's your POV?
Let me add one thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead, AJ. Go ahead. I'm gonna
Marty, go ahead. Marty, go ahead. Go.
Go ahead, Marty.
I was gonna say, man, like I'm way younger than y'all. I think it's just a difference in culture too, because most guys like in my age range have my point of view on this as well. So I think it might just be a culture thing or an age thing too.
No, you're just when I was your age, I was kind of teetering on fucking getting a grip on this.
Okay, then maybe that's it. Maybe that's it.
Yeah, in 5 years, 10 years max, you're going to be going, what the fuck was I thinking? Jesus Christ, that was pathetic. I was insecure. I was this. I was that. I did it too.
I still don't think that's insecure, man. But go ahead, AJ.
Mr. Zeglin,
insecure more than anything I've ever heard in my fucking life.
Hold up. Sorry, AJ. Johnny, you think I'm insecure, Johnny? You watch my content. You talk to me every day. You think I'm insecure, Johnny?
On this topic, yes. Just this
Johnny,
topic,
you know me better than that. Johnny, you know me better than that, man.
Brother, on this topic, I got to be honest. I love you, so I'm going to be honest. I had the same problem you did at roughly this age. I had everything else licked, but this.
So were you insecure at my age? Were you insecure at my age?
I was.
There was still some areas of my life I was cleaning up. This being one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've battled insecurities my whole life. 100% I have, and this would be one of them.
You believe that you're not, which is good. You should believe that, because when you believe, you can achieve. If you're walking around telling yourself, "Fuck, I'm insecure," guess what? You're getting more insecure. You're walking around going, "I'm a bad motherfucker. I'm not insecure." Good for you. You just don't see the light yet because you need a few more years to see it.
So let's bring in a new POV here, and so AJ, I'm going to throw to you. But Good Time comes in and says, "Old days would take time to find out she's a pig. Now they can show you online that she's already a pig." Well, and hold on, Good Time. I want to make sure we're playing even here, because you can also find out that he's a pig too. Right, this is not about this. We are not bashing women who are having multiple sex partners.
Good Time's just coming around with all this cum dumpster shit. He's
AJ, what do you think about this, brother? What's your thoughts on this whole thing?
Yeah.
AJ's like, next topic.
Another conversation. So. I mean, a couple points that just, jump out to me right off the top of my head. I think some of it is like anything in life is context dependent. You know what I mean? Like it really, some of it matters maybe, or maybe it doesn't to some people, but I think context always matters in a situation, right? So
So AJ, this starts with, if I can let me help you here. This starts with a study done in Germany. Okay. And men were asked the question and women were asked the question, what's the ideal body count? And for men, the ideal body count was 4 to 5 lifetime sex partners. AJ's rolling his eyes going, what? Really? Fuck, I did that in one night. And then
so 4 to 5, like they thought the ideal for a woman to have was 4 to 5, or they thought an ideal for a man himself to have was 4 to 5
for themselves. And then women was ideal was lower, 2 to 3.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's everyone's ideals. I think everybody's lying. First of all, I don't know. Maybe that's what
AJ was an attractive young man growing up playing football. So when he's looking at the numbers, it's like, was that on a weekend or was that a week or was that?
Yeah.
I feel like there's probably not a lot of people that fall into those categories. Maybe a lot of people aren't matching with what they say are ideal. But yeah, I think context kind of matters a little bit. I think the person matters too. Like you don't really know, obviously, the decisions that someone's made or why they've made them or why they, you know what I mean? And let's just put it this way. I guess what I'm saying is that for me, from my personal point of view, is I don't think I would ever write somebody off based on that one thing. Yes. I would never try to reduce somebody's value to one single number.
Good answer. Good answer.
Bam.
You know, I would understand that there's a story there, and yeah, I would just there's going to be a million different pieces that make that person up. So I just see jumping in on the other part that you guys were talking about. So I know I have asked that question before when I was younger. I know I have asked it before when I was younger. And, it's interesting because I'm listening to you guys talk, and as you guys are talking, I think that I was asking it in that moment because I was insecure, right?
Yes.
Like I was not, I was not confident in myself. I was not confident
100%
what I was bringing to the table. I was in my mind making up comparisons already. I was, you know what I mean? And,
yes.
And that's what I did. And I think that's even a work in progress all the time. I might not, obviously with the relationship that I'm in now, it's not something that I would often think about, but there are other areas in my life that I feel like I'm insecure in, all the time, if I'm being honest. It's a constant work in progress that I'm trying to get over those insecurities, and I'll make progress in one area, in one department, and then I might find myself, feeling a little insecure in another area of my life. And it's kind of a moving target sometimes, but I think it's pretty typical that we have those insecurities, and we're just constantly trying to improve ourselves and work through them.
Let's move from insecurities, guys. Let's close this off. Let's keep the show running here. Mornings Live with Keith and friends, myself, Keith Billis, AJ Zeglin, Steve Marty Fitt, and John Anderson joining us on the phone. Guys, we've been making some changes to the show here on the fly here. We're breaking our show into 1-2 hour segments. Got some big news happening in July that might be around the corner on July 1st, maybe a third hour. Marty, you got to roll?
Yeah, I was about to say I got to get up out of here.
Okay, so Marty, you're gonna rock and roll, and we're gonna keep the show. Actually, yeah, Marty, we're gonna rock. We're gonna talk in marriage, Marty. So you get the hell out of here. We had a good conversation about you.
Yeah, time for me to go. Yeah.
And real quick, Mark, before you go, I just need you to understand. This is just a conversation. I still love you, brother. This is just.
Oh, I love you too, man. Come on, bro. I
love
love to learn anyway.
Sometimes, when people lock horns a little bit, they walk away with butthole feeling like it was penetrated, and I don't want you to feel that way.
This is great.
It's not the first time we butt heads on here. You good with me, Johnny, always.
But with me wanting to make sure I knew that you were going to what you're going to say, but I feel better showing you love to make sure there's no possibility that this conversation put any ruffle in your feathers, because I want you to have a fucking amazing day.
Awesome.
I appreciate it, man. I hope you do too. I still need to call you, man. I'm gonna call you today.
Today's gonna be a tough one, brother. But tomorrow would be better.
I'll text you, man. I'll text you. All right. All right, y'all.
Get the hell out of here, buddy. Coming up, we're gonna switch streams here in about 4 minutes, guys, to hour 2 here. And what we're gonna do is, if AJ, you can stick around for a few minutes here. I want to talk about a simple, powerful trend happening right now, which is the 10-minute morning habit for married couples. We went from talking about partner counts to 10-minute morning habits. And Johnny, I know you're a big fan of this. I am. I did it this morning. Not that I knew we were talking about it because I'm in love with my wife, but it's brief, intentional time focused on connection that is transforming relationships. While the specific 10-minute morning habit as branded term all over the internet right now, AJ, isn't widely cited in recent sources, the concept, the idea of the concept is closely aligned with several highly recommended morning routines. And we're going to talk about it here today. And guys, what is it? And Good Time says, good morning to you, AJ. What is the 10-minute morning habit? AJ, this habit involves setting aside just 10 minutes, not 50, not an hour, 10 minutes for uninterrupted, meaningful connection with your spouse. The key elements are this: focused attention, putting away phones, turn off screens, eliminate distractions, face-to-face interactions, sitting together, making eye contact, active listening, truly listening to each other, emotional presence. So what this quote-unquote viral trend is really leaning into, AJ, is attention, face-to-face, active listening, and emotional presence. Now, you're listening to me going, well, fuck, Bill, that's just an obvious thing to do. It is, but the reality is we get so caught up in life that we never seem to find 10 minutes. So what we're talking about right now is creating this intentional 10-minute situation first thing in the morning. AJ, thoughts on this as we continue this and get into this?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I think it's they're all extremely important factors in the, strengthening the foundation of that of your relationship. I love that, if you have a routine or a little bit of structure for it, I'm always a big fan of that. I think it's the most effective way to accomplish things and make sure things are getting done. And obviously this would be something that's high priority. Again, too, I think it's probably just whenever works for you as a couple. I know for us, I leave the house every morning before everyone is so fast asleep. That's just, the schedule that we're on. I'm out of the house at 5:30 in the morning and everyone's still asleep for a couple hours. So, for me, it would be finding something later on in the day. I would love to do it first thing in the morning. I'm a big supporter of doing things in the morning to kind of orientate ourselves in a positive, productive direction, for the day. I think that is helpful. Yes. But yeah, so I think it would just depend on the couple. I would say that if you don't have time for this first thing in the morning, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. And any other time of the day where you can find 10 minutes to intentionally connect and actively listen to each other and give each other your full support and attention, whether that's in the middle of the afternoon or in the evening before you go to bed or at any time, I think it would be equally as valuable.
And Johnny, I know you're a big fan of it. You get up first thing in the morning and you text your loved ones, including your wife, and I know you also schedule Terry time throughout the day. Any little tips for our audience right now about the intentional 10 minutes with your partner, Johnny?
I think what AJ said is really key. Like Terry and I, we always have our evening time.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, something, maybe we're packing to get ready for a trip but we're both packing to get ready for a trip. But then the morning time, we had this go for a little while of doing 9 o'clock coffee, and it sputtered a little bit, and partially it was my fault. I don't say partially, probably more than partially, but also too, morning time is not her time. So we realized that our connecting the evening was actually much more potent. She gets up and it takes her a little while to get into that really good space mentally. So if we're trying to connect and she's still trying to get there. So I think what AJ said is perfect. Is this habit is wonderful, but it may not be in the morning for some people.
Yeah, it's very true, and I know with myself and Lauren, we're resorting that out as well because my mornings are early, and she works as well. And I know, and I look forward to today, for example, we're spending a nice hour. We got a nice date gonna get some pedicures done, boys. Gonna get my feet done. Oh, I love it, man. I'm so looking forward to it. Actually, it's funny because you know what happens, guys? I got my feet in the tank there, and she's doing my feet. But then as the time's going by and she's getting done, I find my anxiety going up because it's almost done. I'm like, no, don't be finished yet. Can you do it again?
Brother, I'm looking at my dog. I'm looking down at my dogs right now.
Yeah.
And I need some of that action. You can barely see. Last time I got it done, it wasn't that long ago, but the silver paint is almost gone from every toe. So my dog needs attention.
Hey, you're hanging out with Keith, Johnny, AJ on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Runs. We're wrapping up hour 1, and here's what's happening, guys. AJ, this is new to you, brother. We're doing some crazy things. We're actually going to close up hour 1 of this stream. And we got a second stream started. Jimmy, let's start that second stream right now. So we got a second stream starting because, AJ, we got a third hour coming up in July.
I've heard rumors. I've heard rumors about this third hour.
So, but what we're doing is we're just like the old big networks, they split their shows up into hours. Hour 1's wrapping up, guys. We're going to start hour 2. Hour 2, big conversation coming up on hour 2. We're going to get into, and if AJ can stick around for a few minutes, the alpha myth shatters. What's next for real men? The alpha male kind of thing is shattering itself all over the internets, and people are talking about it. We're going to talk about it. If AJ can stick around for a few minutes, talk about that. We're going to get into that. And then we have Johnny Murillo joining up as well as the community corner. So guys, here's how it's going to work. We are going to, Jimmy, we're going to end this stream. We're going to move on over to the second stream and keep the show rock and rolling. So AJ, when you get out of here on StreamYard, there's a second link. It says hour 2. Click that, and we're going to join up there as well. And if you want, you can even do that right now. We're going to join over there. Does that make sense to you?
Absolutely.
Let's do it.